Okay, so let's get right into it. The tech world just got seriously shaken up. I mean, OpenAI, yep, the folks behind ChatGPT has just jumped into the browser wars with a product that's designed to completely change how we use the internet. And really, the big question on everyone's mind is this. Is Google's long reign finally in trouble? Now, look, that's a pretty bold claim from a user online, right? But it perfectly captures the feeling, the incredibly high stakes of this new fight. The second OpenAI dropped this new browser, the reactions were, well, they were all over the place. For some, it felt like this huge shift, like the king of search was finally facing a real threat. But is it really that simple? So, let's meet the challenger, ChatGPT Atlas. And just to be clear, this is not just another browser with a few new bells and whistles. Oh no, OpenAI's goal here is way more ambitious. They've baked ChatGPT right into the very core of this thing, trying to create a kind of super assistant that actually understands what you're doing and helps you out before you even ask. Atlas shows you what it's all about the second you install it. First thing, it asks to turn on browser memories to give you smarter suggestions. Next, you get a ChatGPT sidebar on literally any website, so no more tabbing back and forth. Then it turns your cursor into an AI collaborator to help you write. And here's the masterstroke. If you set it as your default browser, you unlock extended limits on ChatGPT. It's a brilliant, if maybe a little creepy, way to get you to switch. So this brings us to the main event, the head-to-head with Google. For what feels like forever, Chrome has been the undisputed champ. But Atlas isn't just another contender. Its very existence is a challenge. And the way it's built, well, that makes this whole thing incredibly complicated. And here's the craziest part, the ultimate irony. OpenAI's so-called Google killer is built on Chromium. You know, the open source project created and maintained by, wait for it, Google. It's like trying to take down the castle using the stones from the castle's own wall. In fact, some people have pointed out that early on, Atlas was kind of shy about admitting it was built on Chromium, almost like they were trying to hide it. Oh, but the plot thickens. You'd think, with OpenAI's massive partnership with Microsoft, that the search results inside Atlas would come from Bing, right? Wrong. It looks like they're actually being powered by Google itself. So is Google too big to be bothered? It kind of seems like it. Right now, they're so dominant that even their biggest rival has to use their infrastructure just to compete. Now, this whole battle isn't just about what browser you use. It's about to completely rewrite the rulebook for anyone in digital marketing. I mean, think about it. If we start asking an AI for answers instead of typing keywords into a search bar, the entire way we get discovered online has to change. This is it. This is the million-dollar question for every single marketer, business owner, and content creator out there. For the last 20 years, the game has been search engine optimization, SEO. But if the search engine isn't the front door to the internet anymore, what are you supposed to optimize for? Well, you better get ready for a new acronym, AIO, or Artificial Intelligence Optimization. And this is a huge shift in thinking. It's not just about pleasing Google's algorithm anymore. Now, it's about earning an AI's trust. Brands need to make their content so clear, so well-structured, so reliable that an AI agent feels confident saying, yeah, this is the answer. But it's not all threats. Atlas is also handing out some incredible new superpowers. Imagine this. You go to a competitor's website and just ask the browser to list all of their services, or to tell you what blog posts they're missing. You can even ask it to sort their content by what stage of the marketing funnel it's for. These are things that used to take hours of grunt work, and now it's done in seconds. This is where AIO starts to feel really powerful. Okay, but hold on. Before everyone panics and throws out 2 decades of strategy, here is some absolutely crucial advice from an expert in the field. Do not, for the love of God, throw out best practice SEO. Good, quality, well-structured content is still the foundation of everything. AIO is just a new layer on top. It's not a replacement. Brands need to focus on that signal and try to ignore all the noise and hype. You know, at the end of the day, this war isn't going to be won in some fancy boardroom. It's going to be decided by us, by the users. So what are the first people who actually got their hands on Atlas? Think about it. Well, the verdict is complicated. And I don't think you could find 2 more opposite reactions. On one hand, you have folks who see its potential, calling it an incredible moment. On the other hand, you have people who watched the demo and just thought it was pathetic. Nothing new that Microsoft hasn't already been trying to push with its Edge browser for years. And once you get past that initial flash of excitement, a real problem starts to emerge. A lot of users are talking about a tough learning curve. They're struggling to see why they should go through the hassle of switching when they can just, keep a ChatGPT tab open in Chrome. For the average person, it's not immediately clear what the big win is. And that brings us to what might be the biggest, most controversial piece of this entire puzzle. To get that smarter, more helpful experience, you have to feed the AI. And you feed it with a constant stream of your personal data. For a lot of people, that's a price that is just way too high. This line, it's just perfect. That iconic, chilling quote from 2001: A Space Odyssey pretty much sums up the deep anxiety a lot of us feel. It's that fear of giving an AI too much control, of creating something that knows everything about you, but might not have your best interests at heart. And these fears get really specific really fast. We're not talking about abstract data points. People are worried about their bank account details being logged, about the browser building a dossier of intimate life details. One user described the feeling as, "Mom had read my diary." It's that deep, personal sense of violation. And it brings up that old internet saying, if the service is free, then you are the product. So really, here's the core of it. That browser memories feature, as powerful as it is, could potentially feed every single thing you do online into OpenAI's training models. It's the ultimate trade-off. You get convenience and a personalized web in exchange for giving one single company a view into your life that is just unprecedentedly intimate. All right, so after looking at the technology, the marketing battles, and what real users are saying, let's try to do the hard part, separate the signal from the noise. What is ChatGPT Atlas right now, today, versus what is just hype? So on one side, you've got the hype. This is the Google killer, the revolution that's going to change everything. But the reality? Well, the reality, at least for now, is a lot more grounded. It's a browser built on Google's own tech that seems to use Google for search and that many early users are calling underwhelming and hard to use. The potential is absolutely there, especially for pros in fields like SEO, but it is a long, long way from being a finished revolution. And that, right there, leaves us with the one big, provocative question that really matters. The tech is here, it's only going to get smarter and more woven into our lives. So the decision lands on each of our shoulders. Is the promise of a smarter, more helpful internet worth the price of our privacy? That's the question we all have to answer for ourselves.